In dealing with debt today, the car industry is going through a major shift and consumers are spending more than ever. Let's bring in Michael Bohr. He's the co-founder and CEO of Carlotz, the nation's largest consignment to retail used vehicle marketplace. Good to have you here. This sounds like it's a bit of a startup, but maybe you've been around for a while. Tell us about your company.
10-year-old startup. We still feel like a startup, but yeah, we entered the public markets earlier this year. I launched it. I wrote a business plan in 2010, raised a little bit of capital, and started the business in 2011. And so we still operate like a startup, but we've been around for a while.
Factors including the chip shortage are driving up prices. How are you addressing that problem for consumers?
So obviously, new cars need microchips to operate all the electronic systems within a car. And those microchips have been very hard to come by for the car makers. So new cars aren't being made in the quantities that are in demand by the consumer. So people who otherwise would have bought a new car are being forced to buy a used car. People who otherwise were buying used cars have more money through stimulus dollars, so they're buying more used cars. So there's great demand for used cars, which is pushing prices up, making cars 20, 30% more expensive than they were a year or two ago for the consumer. And so what we're seeing as a trend is that people are trying to figure out, how do I make the most money possible with the car that I'm selling so that I can afford the car that I'm buying? And that's where people are starting to look at consignment as a way to maximize the value of the car that they're selling.
Walk us through the process.
Yeah, so people are familiar with consignment when it comes to clothing or furniture. And a lot of times people haven't heard about consignment in the auto space. But essentially, our guests, they tell us about their car, either through Carlotz.com or they come visit us at any of our 23 locations around the country. And they'll show us pictures of their car, they'll bring their car in, and we'll do a full valuation of the car. Once they've decided that this is the best way to get the most money for the car, then we take it from there. We either ship the car into one of our locations or someone will drop it off. We evaluate the car mechanically, we recondition it, we clean it, and then we professionally merchandise it and market the vehicle as every other auto retailer would to maximize the price that the car is being sold for. And once that happens, the seller gets the maximum price for the car, thousands more than they would get if they traded it in or tried to sell it themselves. And it works for people who have liens, who have leases, who own their car outright. It's really good for anybody as a way to maximize the value they get for their car so that they can afford the next car that they're buying.
So who's your competition? Because this sounds like a disruptor business to me.
Yeah, so we have not found anybody else who offers consignment. The dealer makes a ton of money off of making a lowball trade-in number and then reconditioning that car and selling it for much more. And so they don't want to, typically dealers don't want to offer consignment because it really, in our mind, everybody wins. We love selling cars for our guests. We love selling cars to people, and it's a way for everybody to win, the buyer, the seller, and Carlotz. Everybody shares in the pie, in the value between the wholesale price and the retail price of a car. But we don't see any competition. Nobody's doing consignment nationally like we do it in the car market. Now, from a buying perspective, we sell cars just like all the other car retailers. We just sell predominantly consigned units, so they're priced well. They're not units that we're picking up that nobody else wants. These are wonderful consumer units, commercial consignments. We find the cars in creative ways and we bring those cars to buyers. And so it's a great way to find great cars at reasonable prices. So Carlotz.com is our website. It'll show you the locations around the country that might be closest to you. Or you can come in, you can talk to one of our people through the phone number on our website or chatting on our website. But Carlotz.com is the central hub.
Thank you very much, and keep us posted on your business.
Thank you, Angie. Great to be here.
Go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.